Welcome back to Southeast Florida Coastal Living with Janet and Lloyd. In today's episode, we're touring the beautiful town of Manalapan. Manalapan, Florida is one of the smallest, most private, and most exclusive coastal communities in Southeast Florida. On this tour, we will explore what it's like to live here, take a look at its extraordinary real estate, and show you the luxury destinations located just beyond its borders. Manalapan isn't only private and opulent, it also has a fascinating and surprisingly dark past. Stay with us, because later in the tour, I'll share the mysterious disappearance of a prominent Palm Beach County judge and his wife and the shocking truth investigators eventually uncovered. Now let me tell you a little more about what makes this remarkable coastal town so unique. Manalapan encompasses less than a half a square mile of actual land. According to the 2020 United States Census, it was home to only 419 residents, living in just 162 primary households. Today, the town contains only about 200 detached single-family homes, along with a limited number of condominiums and other detached residences. But what truly sets Manalapan apart is its extraordinary exclusivity and geography. The town occupies a narrow stretch of land between the Intracoastal Waterway and the Atlantic Ocean. Some of its most exceptional estates extend from one body of water all the way to the other, providing both direct oceanfront and intercoastal frontage. In many cases, the main residence sits on the intercoastal side of A1A, with private beach access, an oceanfront beach house, or an additional guest residence on the opposite side. Some properties even have private tunnels beneath the roads connecting the two. In addition, privacy is one of Manalapan's greatest luxuries. Many of the estates are individually gated and nearly invisible from the road, surrounded by dense tropical landscaping and extensive private security. Certain residence sections also have controlled access, and the town maintains its own police department. And they even have their very own community library, the J. Turner Moore Memorial Library. This is not Miami, Palm Beach, Delray, or even Boca. Manalapan is a hidden coastal enclave between the Atlantic Ocean and the Intracoastal Waterway, where water defines nearly every edge of town. Then there's Point Manalapan, a private enclave on the southern end of Hypoluxo Island, accessible through a 24-hour manned security gate. Though distinct, Point Manalapan and Manalapan's oceanfront estates feels like one intimate community, private, secure, and still full of old Florida charm. Historic homes, tropical landscaping, contemporary architecture, and extraordinary estates coexist here. No two properties feel alike. That blend of character and modern opulence is part of Manalapan's appeal. And yet, some of the world's most exclusive resort and cultural destinations are just moments away. Palm Beach offers the legendary Four Seasons Resort, the Breakers, and Mar-a-Lago, along with Worth Avenue, world famous for its exceptional shopping, refined boutiques, and timeless elegance. The O Palm Beach Resort and Spa is literally across the street and features one of the most renowned spas in South Florida, along with an extraordinary oceanfront retreat, exceptional dining, wellness, and services. From hot cuisine and private clubs to galleries, designer salons, and the finest services available anywhere, the surrounding area provides an extraordinary level of luxury and convenience. If you're finding this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can follow along as we explore other communities all up and down the Southeast Florida coast. Private aviation near Manalapan is exceptionally convenient. Lantana Airport is approximately 8 minutes away, while Boca Raton Airport and several other private aviation facilities are also within easy reach. For residences and guests arriving by private aircraft, Manalapan offers seamless access, discreet convenience, and effortless connectivity to the region and beyond. For those arriving by car, even the drive into Manalapan feels special. As you travel along A1A, mangroves and mature tropical foliage arch over the roadway and create a natural shaded tunnel. The canopy provides welcome relief from the intense Florida sun and makes the drive feel peaceful, secluded, and almost untouched. It feels less like entering a luxury community and more like discovering a hidden place of old Florida. But what truly sets Manalapan apart is the real estate. There are rarely more than half a dozen properties listed for sale at any given moment. That makes the opportunity to purchase a home here almost as exclusive as the town itself. Homes here often begin in the double-digit millions. Residences can range from approximately 6,000 square feet to nearly 30,000 square feet. These are not simple luxury homes. These are private coastal compounds created for people who could choose to live anywhere in the world, but increasingly are choosing to live in Manalapan. Recent homeowners have included Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, motivational speaker Tony Robbins, Fox News host Sean Hannity, WeatherTech founder David McNeil, and internationally known musician Yanni. And over the years, Manalapan has also attracted such names as Billy Joel, boxing promoter Don King, National Enquirer founder Generoso Pope Jr., and members of the Vanderbilt and Guinness families, just to name a few. But long before billionaires and record-breaking estates began attracting attention, Manalapan became the setting for one of the most haunting stories in Florida's history. Long before Manalapan became the exclusive town that it is today, this region was inhabited by the Indigenous Jaega people. In the 1870s, Hannibal and Margretta Pierce and their family became the first permanent non-Indigenous settlers on Hypoluxo Island, whose southern portion later becomes Point Manalapan. But Manalapan's history also holds a darker chapter: the disappearance of Judge Curtis Chillingworth and his wife Marjorie. That story began on the evening of June 14, 1955. Judge Curtis Chillingworth and his wife Marjorie had dinner with friends in Palm Beach. At approximately 10 o'clock, they left for their oceanfront cottage in Manalapan. The following morning, a carpenter arrived at 8 o'clock to begin building a playground for the couple's grandchildren. The front door was open, the house was empty, and Curtis and Marjorie were nowhere to be found. Judge Chillingworth was known to be exceptionally punctual. When he failed to appear for a 10 o'clock hearing at the courthouse, everyone immediately knew something was terribly wrong. Police arrived at the Manalapan home and discovered a shattered porch light. Drops of blood led toward the beach. 2 empty spools of adhesive tape were also found. Their swimsuits were still dry, money remained inside of the house, and Marjorie's pocketbook still contained $40, and the keys to the couple's Plymouth were left in the ignition. It was clear that this was not an accidental drowning, and it was not a robbery. An enormous search began by land, air, and sea, but no trace of the couple was found. 2 years later, Curtis and Marjorie Chillingworth were declared legally dead. For nearly 5 years, the case remained one of Florida's greatest mysteries. Then a man named Lloyd Lucky Hasselhoff began bragging that he knew what had happened. Investigators arranged for one of his conversations to be secretly recorded. As Hasselhoff continued talking, the horrifying truth began to emerge. He and George Bobby Lincoln had traveled by boat to the Chillingworth home approximately at 1 in the morning. They knocked on the door and forced their way inside. The couple's hands were bound with tape, and they were taken from their home in the middle of the night in their nightclothes. Curtis and Marjorie were forced into a boat and carried out into the darkness of the Atlantic. Lead weights were attached to them before they were thrown overboard. According to testimony, Judge Chillingworth's final words to his wife were, "Honey, remember, I love you." Marjorie answered, "I love you too." Their bodies were never recovered. But perhaps the most shocking part of the story was the identity of the man behind the murders. Judge Peel was a West Palm Beach municipal judge. He was also involved in corruption and accepting money from gambling operations and moonshiners in the exchange for protection. Judge Chillingworth had already warned Peel about serious professional misconduct. Peel believed Chillingworth could have exposed his corruption and destroyed his political ambitions. Prosecutors maintain that this gave Peel a powerful motive to have Judge Chillingworth killed. They presented evidence that Peel hired Lucky Hasselhoff and Bobby Lincoln to carry out the murders. In 1961, a jury convicted Peel for his role in the crime. He became known as the mastermind behind the murders of Curtis and Marjorie Chillingworth. Bobby Lincoln received immunity in exchange for his testimony. Lucky Hasselhoff pleaded guilty to both murders and was sentenced to death. His sentence was later commuted to life in prison. Joseph Peel received 2 life sentences. What the evidence established was that Judge Chillingworth stood directly in the way of Peel's corruption and political ambitions, and Peel wanted that roadblock removed. The mystery of what happened to Curtis and Marjorie Chillingworth was finally solved, but their bodies were sadly never recovered. Their peaceful oceanfront home in Manalapan remains forever connected to one of the darkest and most unforgettable crimes in Florida's history. Nevertheless, today's Manalapan is celebrated for its beauty, privacy, and extraordinary grandeur. But even a place this beautiful cannot always escape its past. Thank you again for watching Southeast Florida Coastal Living with Janet and Lloyd. We hope you enjoyed today's tour and the fascinating murder mystery of Manalapan. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so that you won't miss our next Southeast Florida community tour. And don't forget to leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts.